even if it's just a lack of sleep because they work so hard and don't have a second to get away, we try to encompass everything. I mean, if you don't like talking to somebody, don't worry about it. Come to the cave, go to sleep. Nobody will talk to you.
Yeah.
Promise.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate, Wine, and More podcast. I'm your host, Howard Fletcher. I'm a real estate advisor with Engel & Folkers in Tysons, and I bring buyers and sellers of residential real estate together in the Washington metropolitan area, better known as the DMV. And in today's episode, we're going to be visiting once again with Max Bachmann. We met Max in episode 2 when he introduced us to his company, Sonor Wines. If you didn't hear that episode, please look it up and check it out. It's not every day that you learn about wine infused with music and vibrations during the process of fermentation. It was pretty cool. However, today we learn about his other business that's located in my neck of the woods, the Bethesda Salt Cave. This is the only salt cave in the entire state of Maryland. Now, one of my favorite groups, Parliament, had a classic song called P-Funk. And they said that if you have faults, defects, or shortcomings, like arthritis, rheumatism, or migraines, whatever part of the body it is, I want you to lay it on the radio. Let the vibes flow through. Funk not only moves, it can remove. Dig? Well, with that in mind, I'm going to let Max tell you why going to the Bethesda Salt Cave might be the best alternative for you if you don't have any P-Funk at your disposal. This was a fun and interesting conversation, and I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. This is episode 6, the Bethesda Salt Cave, Granular Relaxation. All right, I'm here with Max. Maximilian or Max?
Max is
Max,
fine. Maximilian is way too long sometimes.
Okay. I'm here with Max Bachmann. Max is the owner, founder.
Co-owner. My mom actually founded the Salt Cave itself.
Okay. All right. He's the co-owner and
yes.
son
Yes.
of the founder
Yes.
of the Salt Cave in Bethesda.
That is correct.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you much. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about the Salt Cave. What is it all about here?
So Salt Caves, just going back to the Salt Cave theory, is the recreation of being at the ocean. So our Salt Cave is 500 square feet. We've imported 36 tons of salt and lined the room, 7 tons being so much on the floor, with the rest sort of, on the walls, on the ceiling. We have a machine that crushes salt, dispenses it into the air over a 45-minute period, because the sessions are 45 minutes on the hour, every hour. The idea behind Salt Caves is to help, get rid of respiratory issues. Help you, when you breathe in the salt, it helps to dry out mucus, helps you with eczema, psoriasis. Salt is a natural antibacterial, so it helps to kill bacteria, it kills germs. If you drink a little bit of salty water, swish it around your mouth, it helps with fighting off gingivitis. So the Salt Cave in theory is, again, recreating going to the ocean. 45 minutes in a general salt cave is about 3 to 4 days of salt gathered at the beach.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
There are chunks of salt in here that
That's correct.
I have never seen.
Some ranging about a pound, some ranging about 20 to 30 pounds.
Those are big blocks of salt.
They are. It took us maybe about 4 months to get everything stuck on the wall itself.
Wow. So tell me about the genesis, about the brainchild of this. I mean, did your mother think this up, or what?
Yeah, so my mom actually was on vacation. I believe she went to Texas, and she was having a good time, and unfortunately had bronchitis at the same time. Which, no, my mom, if she's sick, it's the end of the world. All right, don't let her. She'll probably hear this later, but don't let her hear that I said it now. But she found a salt cave in the area. My stepdad said, "Why don't we try this out?" They went to the salt cave. It, dried up her mucus so much that she was able to actually, enjoy the rest of her vacation. She came back to Maryland, and at the time, back in 2013, 2012, she was still a massage therapist, contracted by herself, seeing her own private clients to, put food on the table. And I was in college at the time too, so I was studying finance at Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. So I wasn't really here much for the beginning process, more so of a lifeline emotional support kind of thing on the phone. But we started a Kickstarter, like GoFundMe page, and we raised some money to provide for the rent, for utilities, and to buy the salt that we needed to actually build the room itself. And from then, we've made a wave just here in the DMV itself, given that we were, and I believe still are, the first and only salt cave in Maryland. And this is something that people generally don't see on a regular basis. And if they did, they would feel a lot better, because a lot of people here in this area suffer severely from eczema, psoriasis, dry skins. The weather sucks here.
Yeah,
I can't complain, compared to Chicago and Canada, but we have our own fair share.
What year was that you opened this?
The cave opened about 2013, early 2014.
Mm-hmm. Well, for those people who aren't familiar with Bethesda, Maryland, in 2019, let me tell you,
driving is insane here.
Driving here has always been challenging, but Bethesda has gone through a lot of transformations, but right now it's going through another major one.
It is.
And where we're located now, you're right near the metro station.
Yeah, Bethesda Metro.
Bethesda Metro. For those people who are familiar with the old post office that's on Wisconsin Avenue, you're almost right behind that.
Exact same corner, Wisconsin and Montgomery Lane.
So if you've ever seen those pictures or movies or even cartoons of all this construction going on around a few small buildings that haven't moved, that's where the Salt Cave is. I mean, across the street from you have a brand new, what is that going to be, a condo building?
I believe, it's going to be a condo building, and then the old post office was just changed into True Body, which is a new gym, yoga, not more so in the lifting aspect, but more so cycling and yoga-ish.
Why I'm only bringing this up because not only is this the only salt cave, like you said, in the area, and it does serve a great purpose, because I'm a native Washingtonian. I'm also somebody who happens to suffer from asthma. Okay. And so, as you probably know, a lot of people have respiratory issues here.
Yes.
More than in other parts of the country.
Absolutely.
Other parts of the world, as a matter of fact. There seems to be a concentration of asthmatics in the D.C. area. You seem to have picked a fantastic spot to be in, I believe.
In between everything.
In between everything. I mean, Bethesda's always been a pretty good place to open a business. But looks like you might have a lot of clientele that's going to be across the street, hopefully.
Not just so for the people that are around us, but we have individuals who travel an hour and a half just to get here, just to come and try the Salt Cave, because they suffer so severely from different types of allergies and respiratory issues. Even if it's just a lack of sleep because they work so hard and don't have a second to get away, we try to encompass everything. I mean, if you don't like talking to somebody, don't worry about it. Come to the cave, go to sleep. Nobody will talk to you. I promise.
Well, right now we're in a room that is the floor is totally covered with salt. Yep. I guess this is rock salt.
It's all pink Himalayan salt.
Okay.
So we source all of our pink Himalayan salt from the Karachi region in Pakistan. So given that the Himalayan mountains are sourced from, and located in the, Pakistani region, all the mines, there's huge mines over there. It's kind of one of their commodities that they, export to fund a lot of the things that happen over there too. So we've been working with the same exporter in Karachi for the past 4 years that we've sourced all our product from. We do that, and we work solely with one individual, just because we've made sure that there's no child labor behind it all. The environment is set. We don't want any bad blood. We don't want anybody feeling like, we've profited off of somebody else's.
Salt mines do have a bad reputation.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And especially, you can't really tell, which salt mines are the good ones, which salt mines are the bad ones.
Right.
So we've done our research. We've made sure that, the individual that we work with is the perfect fit for what we do here, especially with the people that we come in contact with, because we don't want to sell snake oil. We want to sell something that's going to benefit, not just a child, but an older individual as well.
Well, we're in a room here, which, as we said before, it's lined with large blocks and pieces of salt of this
Pink Himalayan, yes.
What he said, Pakistani salt. And the floor has I'm calling it rock salt, but it's this salt that Max just mentioned, but it's large chunks of it or large granules of it like rock salt. And in here there are some chaise lounges. There are also some cushions on the floor where you could relax and sit down. The lights are dim. There's very soft lighting in here. And so somebody coming here, do they just come and sit for an hour, or what goes on?
So sessions are 45 minutes. There is a walk-in phase. There is a breakdown phase where I have to sometimes open the door and actually wake people up because they've fallen asleep.
I can see that.
Which is the main goal, of course.
Right.
Keep in mind that when you fall asleep, you breathe heavier. Heavier breathing in turns means you breathe in more salt, which will help you alleviate a lot more symptoms. The chairs that we use are all zero gravity chairs, so they recline. They can be set at different angles. A lot of people can't lie down, so they have to sit up straight or don't like lying back all the way. So they can sit at a 45-degree angle. The beds that we made on the floor, we've actually made ourselves. The fabric that was used, we've actually bought from Guatemala, where we help a lot of the local women out there to provide them with food with the money that they need.
It's some beautiful fabric.
Yeah, thank you. Took myself and my mom a long time to get it over here and a long time to get it all stitched together. But we like to help the local community out there in Guatemala and also bring something back to the U.S. that can be appreciated in terms of not just an IKEA brand or going to Costco and spending $8 on something that will deteriorate over time.
So are there any other services that you provide here other than just the Salt Cave itself?
Given that we're a very holistic environment, we do massage therapy, we do facials. Facials are something new to the whole Salt Cave atmosphere. We do acupuncture at the moment as well. We do a lot of energy healing, so group energy clearing, Reiki sessions. What else do we have here? Salt caves, of course. We do yoga inside the Salt Cave.
Wow.
Yeah. So we actually clean out all the chairs and we provide yoga mats. We have our own. We use a thicker base of yoga mat just because the salt on the floor kind of makes the floor a little uneasy, so a little uneven. So, we try to create a steady surface for everybody to work with. We do offer kids classes, mommy and me classes, to bring your child, over here. 7 and under is free with any, adult that comes in for the cave. A lot of the kids' classes lights are on, the kids can bring their toys, they can play around, kind of just like going to the beach, just without, of course, the ocean.
So if somebody wants to come to the Salt Cave, sign up for one of these classes, get a massage or something, what do they do?
Well, pretty much you can give us a call, 301-312-6377, BethesdaSaltCave.com. All of our prices are on our website. Please, if you can't find anything, give us a call. We love to talk to people on the phone, especially myself. I'm a huge talker, so I will chew your ear off a little bit, but we'll provide you with all the information needed as well. The price-wise scheduling for everything is also done online. You can schedule your appointments online. Give us a call to schedule them too. For any 60 or 90-minute service that you get at the Salt Cave, we actually give you a free 45-minute Salt Cave session to go with it. So you either do your massage first, then do the cave after, which is the way I would recommend it, or you can do the cave first and the massage after. A lot of times people come in for body pains, whether they work out or just, unfortunately have, muscle discomfort or bone, discomfort. So a massage can be relaxing, but it can also hurt a tad bit because there are those trigger points that when the massage therapist goes over that might feel uncomfortable, but it's a necessity to, get that knot out, get the muscle moving, the blood flow moving, and then in turn go into the cave afterwards where you drift off and just fall asleep, wake up, and feel 100 times better.
So you mentioned your mother was introduced to this because of an ailment that she was having.
Yes.
Now she owns one.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that things have been working out for her.
They have been. Yes. My mom's the biggest optimist I've met in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of optimists, but she takes the cake. She's always there to, help the poorest individual to the most rich individual. We're, again, community-driven business. We're not here to take your pennies. We're here to help you get better. If we can, if what we offer doesn't make you feel better, we're going to find somebody or find something else that we have that will make you feel better.
Wow.
When we work very closely with, NIH, because individuals go there with chemotherapy.
Right.
Their skin is destroyed after all of it. It flakes, it's dry. they come here. We hand make a lot of bath and body products. My mom, throughout her process, she, especially when we moved here, she wasn't able to use a lot of the things over the counter, like your Dove soap or your dishwashing liquid, because it would make her break out in hives and it would hurt her skin and the dry factor. So she researched on how to make her own soap for herself, and in turn, a lot of customers were like, wow, this is great stuff. She started making for everybody else. So now we actually, we have about 16 different soaps that we provide, about 3 different whipped body butters, unscented to scented stuff. We do a whole bunch of things, all geared again to that dry skin, that eczema, psoriasis factor.
So do you have to come in to purchase them, or can you purchase those online?
You can purchase them online. Give us a call. If you're local, I actually drop them off myself. I'll drive to your house and drop it off, as long as you don't mind me stopping by to say hi.
You are a talker.
I mean, that's it. If you meet my mom, you'll see that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Right.
So, but it's again, if you're not a talker, you can't really, find out what's troubling somebody and help them.
Right.
Just asking somebody 1-2 questions isn't really going to branch out. You got to create more of a personal feel to everything.
Okay, well, Max, I want to thank you for inviting me down here. This place is fantastic. I have never had a salt treatment, but I've been sitting in this room today.
I was going to ask you, given that you said that you had a respiratory or the asthma,
quite a bit.
How do you feel?
Well, I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great. I mean, I can't say
don't
that
have
I
to lie
was.
just because we're on air.
No, I understand. I understand, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't. My audience
Honestly,
knows
that's
I'd be
possible.
honest. I'd be honest. But I will say that it seems to have opened up whatever sinus is. I wasn't really congested, but I'm definitely not congested now.
That's awesome. And
So-
I haven't even started the machine yet. So
Yeah,
You're
so-
just breathing the salt that's naturally on the wall.
Yeah. So now this is an interesting thing. I saw that you all had been featured on the local news here.
WUSA 9 and it was ABC 7.
I think it was. I think it was on Channel 4 too. I think you
Might have
were
been,
covered in a couple of places, and I always thought it was interesting. So I appreciate the invitation down here. I would recommend that people who think something like this could help them go to BethesdaSaltCave.com
That is it.
and look them up.
Thank you much. We'll also be featured on Real Housewives of Potomac really, really soon, because they came for a massage session for themselves too.
And the Oprah Network.
And the Oprah Network for the Dr. Oz
Okay.
coming up soon.
Did they like have a fight down here or anything like that?
Not
Or
a
you
fight,
can't say?
Not a fight. Actually, their producer at the end of their actual episode told us that it was an experience not like any other, because they had never actually seen the ladies break down the way they did, because they actually had a session with Terry Christine, who's our group energy theory clearing practitioner. She works with blockages in your energy, helps you to get over certain things that were instilled throughout, whether you were a child to teenager, adult, and I think she kind of broke them down a little bit more so than they were expecting, and it became really heart-touching, very heartwarming to see somebody who on TV is portrayed one way, but in the limelight is a completely different person.
Okay.
Is human nonetheless. Everybody thinks that TV stars are supernatural. They're not really like us average Joes, but it's people, if you break them down, they're just like everybody else.
Well, there you go. You true Housewife fans?
I think I've watched maybe 10 minutes of The Real Housewives before. I'm not a big TV watcher,
Yeah,
nor news watcher myself.
I haven't watched a minute of it, but I've seen commercials.
Yeah.
And
But normally when you see the commercials, there's always
there's always a fight. There's always something,
that's how
going
they grab
on.
your attention. It's like, I got to see how it
so
ends.
I thought, but if you want to see a different side of these ladies,
Yes.
catch
Stay
the
tuned.
Salt Cave episode.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Howard. Appreciate
And
it.
I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.
Bye-bye. And that's another show in the books, and another reason why I love the DMV. I would like to thank Max Bachmann for being on the show and inviting me to spend some time in the Bethesda Salt Cave. If you have an interest in learning more about the Salt Cave and the services they provide, please check the show notes. The company's website is listed there. It'll be well worth your time, and your body will thank you, and you can thank me later. Listen, I'd love to hear from all of you. And if you want to contact me about real estate in Bethesda or this podcast, please email me at howard.fletcher@evusa.com. My contact information is always in the show notes. Something you can do that'll help me loads, especially if you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, is to please rate this episode and also subscribe. If you like it, tell your friends about it and ask them to give me a listen too. I would very much appreciate it. I want to grow this podcast as much as possible. Listeners of the show know I want to take over the world. The Real Estate Wine and More podcast is a production of the Fletcher Group Incorporated, made in association with Engel and Folkers, Tysons and Lansdowne. Music for this episode, as always, was supplied by Cadillac Grip. If you're ever in Boulder or Denver, Colorado, please go see Cadillac Grip play. Because if you ain't hip to the grip, you just ain't hip. The Real Estate Wine and More podcast was written, recorded, engineered, produced, and screwed up as always by me. I'm Howard Fletcher, your friendly neighborhood real estate advisor with Engel and Folkers. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.